So here's the thing. With the exception of this little smidge right here, as I learn to move my hands backwards, damn it. I think my hair looks pretty good today. And I have a haircut in like 3 hours. Oh, but you know that if it wasn't a haircut day, and actually this little bit, oh, it's so weird. You guys, you don't even know. Look at what a good shape that is. But I digress. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, haircut. Do you do this when you're on your Christine? Hi, nice to see you when you're early. Thank you. Thank you. And here's the thing that kills me. I have a haircut appointment. It took you wait, you make them weeks in advance, and then your hair's like, no, don't cut me. See how good I can look? Hair. So funny. Penny Myers, nice to see you. Nice to see you guys. I will admit, it was so odd. And good morning, Cheryl. Carol, nice to see you. I love the people showing up. Love it. Love it. Nicole, nice to see you. And Mary. And thank you all for just saying hi and good morning. Heather, nice to see you too. Don't forget to do the little thumbs uppy thing. And that would be very cool. Leslie, good morning. And Leslie, let me ask you this. Do you pronounce it less like L-E-S like an S, or L-E-S, but you pronounce it like a Z? Is it Leslie or Leslie? Because I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it the right way. Kind of like G. Grover, G. George. Does anybody remember that from? Okay, Leslie, thank you. Well, I don't want to. Oh, thank you, my dear. I don't want to. I don't want to mispronounce anybody's name. Okay, so hey, nice to see everybody. There was something I was just thinking of. Oh, I've been thinking about a lot of things. And Danielle, nice to see you. So yes, welcome to the romper room portion of the show. I've already talked about Sesame Street with G. Grover and G. George, and now we're doing the intro to everybody who's showing up. Oh, this is what I was going to say. So typically for the past, I don't know, over a year, I have two clients that I meet, two one-on-one decluttering coaching clients that I have met on Tuesdays. 6 a.m. is one of them, and 8 a.m. is the other. So I had gotten into the habit of doing a live between the two because I'm already sitting at my desk. I decided to mix it up today, and it felt really weird to not be in the habit of doing the 7 a.m. live. And the funny thing is that I see Christine. Now, I know Christine is on the other coast than I am. So I was thinking, oh, well, this is kind of a bonus for her because, I mean, gosh, I can't even do the math. Would that be like 4 a.m.? Would 7 a.m. Eastern be 4 a.m. Pacific or whatever? My goodness, I wouldn't be up that morning to see myself. Hey, Erin Collins, nice to see you. And look, not only I'm cheering my mug to you, but the way that that I have it set up for the YouTube lives, I believe you could read. See, I can actually read. Drive in the direction of your dreams. There we go. Yay. So nice to see you. Okay, 3 hours behind. Yeah. So yay, Christine, for having today on the calendar, being on the West Coast. Always a pleasure to see all of you. Kat Roby in the his house. Heyo's scheduled Beth Blinders for Kat Roby. What's Kat Roby going to do today? It's the Kat Roby portion of the show, right? She's curating my task list today. 4 a.m. sessions happen in bed for me. Okay, so Kat Roby, rightly so. If my husband wasn't in the bed with me, I could conceivably do my YouTube or my YouTube live. See, I'm getting better. I'm not saying TikTok as often. My YouTube lives from bed too. And Penny Myers, I wouldn't get to see myself. Yes, so we've got Kat is here. Yesterday, Carla stopped by for a minute, but always a pleasure to just see familiar names, because connection and community is something really important, and I do not take that lightly. When you feel alone and you're the only person going through something, that ain't a good feeling. That is not a good feeling. So I love it when we all can get together and you start to know people, getting to know you, getting to know all about you. And it makes the fun stuff funner and the boring stuff not so bad. I will share with you that with these TikTok lives, or you see, there I go. I said TikTok it's one of those apps. The Zooms that we do, the decluttering parties. You guys, the tickets are not available yet because that's like a whole process for me to create those. However, since you guys are on this call right now, and I know most of you are on the mailing list, you know about what somebody, I wish I knew who said it, the speakeasy page, the page that you guys have access to that I put all the good stuff on. I updated it today and I listed the dates for the March declutter parties. Okay. So so if you want to know when the March declutter parties are and looking at your own calendar and comparing to say, could I show up for one or do I have something going on? Because that's all I do really. Because there are sometimes I can't. I'm going to be traveling, doing stuff, but when I can, and I will show up. So take a look at the speakeasy page. And if you're not on the mailing list, in case there's any newbies here, I never want to be only talking to the people I know and be rude and not introduce myself in case there's some people that are just scrolling on YouTube like I have done. And I do. I have done it. I do it. And I will probably continue to do it since I don't watch TV. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. I have a mailing list. That's what I was talking about. A lot of these people knew I was going to do a live today at this time, 11 o'clock Eastern, because I have a mailing list and I share the schedule of my YouTube lives with the people on the mailing list. So there we go. And LO, you're welcome for the 8 a.m. in Pacific Northwest, excuse me. So here's something I just want to offer to you from my own recent experience, literally like half an hour ago or so. I didn't feel so great yesterday. I don't know what it is. Your body, your brain, you're aching and breaking and getting old and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't feeling good. And I will often say, could it be, is it on the other side of my mug? No, listen to your co-pilot. Okay, so I have a mug that says every little bit helps. And I just want to offer to you. Is that we all want things to be done like that in a snap, or pop culture reference coming up, tinkle tinkle tink. You want to be Samantha on Bewitched, or you want to be Blink, you want to be I Dream of Jeannie, ba 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 da ba. Those were two really good theme songs, right? We all want things to be done in a minute. I want my house to be clean in a minute. I want to lose weight in a minute. I want this tax paperwork to be done in a minute. The only time anything really ever gets done is bit by bit by bit. One foot in front of the other, as they said on that Christmas special, or step by step, as the Backstreet Boys, I guess, said. Now here, so I just offer to you, I didn't feel so good yesterday, but I got up today and I did go to my yoga class. I have a yoga class about 3 blocks away, and I walked to it. Now, do I feel 100% restored and all that? No. But as I said to my husband as we walked by, because he joined me in this, I said, I may not feel 100% healed, but I know that this is something that will be a contributing factor to me feeling better, stretching my muscles. So I just offer that to you as a constant reminder to keep on keeping on, to do the little things. Ooh, Penny Myers, good one, because I'm all about the yacht rock. Minute by minute by minute by minute, I keep holding on. I keep holding on. I keep holding on. I can't do it. Oh, that dreamy Michael McDonald voice. I got to tell you, I just wrote that down so I can add it to the Spotify playlist, right? I don't know if I'm going to add the Backstreet Boys in that. Here, help me out with this one. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You know what, Erin? Everybody's tasks take so long to do. They do. They do. But if you chunk it down, I mean, literally today, I have a, here, I'll show you a tray. This whole tray of paperwork is, as it says, Beth 2024 tax paperwork. Did I get a lot of it done this morning? No. But I did make my 2 piles. And I did find that there were some random piles. Remember I said when you're doing your taxes that it's like one pile is money you made, the other one is money you spent? Then I had a couple of things that I was like, oh, which ones do these go in? And I was like, I'll make a third pile. It was only 2 pages. But yeah, yeah. Now I do love this. Now, so Erin is saying, thanks for saying that about the minute by minute and the slow and steady and the chunking things down. I've been beating myself up because most of my tasks take me so long to do. Now, even notice that. Notice the imagery of beating yourself up, right? Don't do that. Ow, I just kind of even hurt myself right there. And I'm a wimp, I got like a bad punch. But notice that part of you is moving at this pace you're moving. And the other part of you is saying, that's not good enough. You are going too slow. You're not going the pace I want. Now, there is a middle ground. Like if you're really dragging your heels, could you pep up your step a little bit? But please, please take it from me. And notice how different it feels when you're not beating yourself up. Now, the tools you have in your toolkit to do that to you, do that to me one more time. Oh, I'm cracking myself up. Once is never enough. Oh, God. Talk about some lame songs. Anyhow, Erin is also saying, so tools in your toolkit, right? So Erin is saying, I know you're not a fan of Race the Clock. I call it like Beat the Clock. Remember that? That was like a game show with the tick, tick, tick. But I am. It's a great way to keep me on flat track and avoid distraction. Have at it then. Have at it. Okay. So please, just because I get stressed out, and trust me, I use a timer myself, but I don't play beat the clock. I like to make a game of it. I know myself, if I hear the tick, 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 tick of like the Lux timer from the kitchen. Does everybody remember those ones? They were very Art Deco looking. That sound stresses me out because then I feel like I'm not going fast enough. But if I set a timer and I say, I'm going to do whatever I can at the pace that I can, and I'm going to focus on it for the 20 minutes, there we go. It puts the pep in your step. Well, there you go. And speaking of putting your pep in your step, this part of Destination Decluttered brought to you by PG Tips. A pip in every step. I have no idea. Find out what works for you. Show up, experiment, play. Stuff that works for me, I offer it as like a bushel basket full of tools. Here, this works for me. Try it out. See if this works for you. Does that fit? No. How can we alter it to make it fit for you? Oh, okay. Does that not work for you? No big deal. It's a customizable toolkit. I'm left-handed, so everything I do is a little bit different than right-handed people. But I just want you to not give up and say, I can't do it. I'm stuck. I love the growth mindset. That's what they call it in the biz. Okay. Growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Because it's so much more fun to grow. If I was fixed mindset, oh my God, I don't even want to think back. If I said, well, this is about as good as it's going to get, I would never have flown out to California to see bands that I like. I never would have said hi to that cute guy. I never would have quit the job that I hated. I never would have divorced my ex-husband. There are a lot of things I never would have done if there wasn't something in me that said, I don't like it this way. I want something different, AKA better than this. Okay. Now I love it because Penny Myers says, because of my left-handedness, I do things the right way. Oh, the right stuff. Here, help me out here. This has been bugging me and I want to get to it. Michelle, Miss Seashell, my belle, saying goal for today, destination today. For me, I want to feel better than I did yesterday and I want to do slightly more than yesterday. I have modest goals for today. Michelle's got one. Goal for today is to get some of the stuff cleared out of the basement and to the charity shop. That sounds great. Can you give yourself a green check mark like Kat Roby just did? List curated for today. Reality, not fantasy. Life is just a fantasy. She emptied the dishwasher. Yeah. And reality is so unreal. That's a deep Pee Wee Herman cut and Pee Wee's Playhouse cut, just for those of you who are annotating all of my pop culture. But what I want to offer to you is this. I don't know if people, but be realistic. If I was realistic, I would not be married to a cute musician living in a hacienda having adventures, right? So I say balance the reality with the fantasy. You know what I mean? Some people call it stretch goals. I don't know, but what I say is just ask yourself, does it feel like I can do this today? And if it doesn't feel like you can do it, lower the bar. Make it so you feel like you can do it, and then anything above the bar doesn't mean stop right there. Stop right there. Doesn't mean stop right there where you've made the bar. If you choose to, though, you have accomplished what you set out to do. So, setting a modest goal, a small goal, will often encourage you to do even more than that because you're going to be like, oh, I did that. What else can I do? Okay. So, reality, not fantasy. Please have a combination of the both of them. Please do. Reality can be really crappy sometimes. So why not use your imagination, your pure imagination? There we go. Kat Roby's new list. New wipe the counters, make a smoothie, take vitamins, put away the laundry. There you go. I love that. That's one of the things, that's one of the reasons. I know it's already halfway through, but there's never, this is why I never say you have to start your habit tracker at the beginning of the month. You can start it any damn time you want. You could print one out and start it on the 18th and then check it out. A month from today is going to be the day after St. Patrick's Day. My goodness, I won't even be home. I'm traveling. Um, Keep those really small goals and take care of your body. I love seeing the making the smoothie and taking vitamins and putting away the laundry is helping your body be clothed with clean clothes. So, what little chunks can you do today? I'm proud of myself, frankly, that I've already drunk more water today than I did probably all day yesterday. Maybe that's one of the reasons I didn't feel so good yesterday. I have also taken my vitamins. I even think I took a fish oil supplement. My God, the things, you guys, anybody else feeling like you're turning into an old person? Oh, but the things we got to do, the things we do for love, like walking in the rain and the snow and there's nowhere to go and you're feeling like a party was dying and you're looking for the answer in her eyes. Remember that one? Um, the things we do for love. Love yourself. Love yourself to take care of your body. And then when your body is feeling better, it's going to make decluttering so much easier. There we go. Cheryl Siegel is doing some self-care. Off work for snow day. I love a snow day. And I work for myself in my house, but I love the vibe of a snow day. So taking a mental health day after several months of decluttering and cleaning, doing some self-care. I love that. And decluttering is self-care. Decluttering is asking yourself what you want and helping yourself get it. What do I want? Do I want this item? Do I want it? Where do I want it to go? It's getting rid of the stuff you don't want. And then here's the deal, it's like a math problem, right? I wish I had something, I don't know, like just like imagine, you've got a dozen eggs. I just got a great place. I just was looking at my old TikTok videos that I all downloaded and I'm going through them and I found the best way to poach an egg in the microwave. Oh, chef's kiss. But pretend you have a dozen eggs. You've got some that are good, you look them up to the light, whatever, and some of them that are bad. When you get rid of the bad eggs, all you're left with is good eggs. So without even having to worry about reaching into the egg box, which eggs are good or not. So notice, I only show up in your life to remind you that we may have been taught that decluttering and um, housework or whatever is like a chore and whatever, but there are some benefits to it. If I don't see the benefit to something, I do not do it. So I would not be spending the last many years of my life publicly, daily, hourly, monthly, praising the positive aspects of decluttering if I truly did not believe that myself. There we go. Lori Hanna got the live notification. Thanks for the tips. You're welcome. Speaking of tips, I'm drinking PG tips. It's true, but I'm not Sponsored. So, actually, here's one thing. Pardon me as I do this. Hey, Baboo. Any chance you could bring me like a little saucer or something? My tea bag's like making my tea bag all tea yucky. Just like a little thing to put my tea bag in.
I will hold the tea.
Oh, thank you. I got to keep one of these on my desk now. Thank you. So check it out. Sorry, but isn't this wicked cute? Check this out. Something I've decided to keep in my house. Look at this guy. I will hold the tea bag. I have a little set of these. There's like 4 of them. They hang on a little hook in the kitchen. I saw them somewhere, and I said to my husband at some point, if you want to get me a cute little gift, and look, holding the tea bag. I love it. Decluttering. Decluttering is what we're all about. Decluttering your head. Oh, it ain't easy, but it's worth trying. Decluttering your schedule. Oh. Having space between doing the things you got to do. Taking your own sweet time. Moving at a pace, moving through life at a pace that feels good to you. Penny Myers has a tip. Please share. Speaking of tips, PG tips. Oh, I got to put on the chapstick. Yes, please share stuff that works for you in the comments. Oh, you know what? Here's the thing. So Penny Myers is saying, I have a tip, but you may already know that. Do not let that stop you. Do not let that stop you, because repetition is one of the tools in your toolkit. Everybody. The things you repeat, you get better at. Notice how I'm much more better at saying YouTube Live versus TikTok Live. You can pin your own comment on your live, like an intro. Engage with your audience. Okay, let me try that. Hey there, pals. Pals. And my typing wrote Oaks. Pals. Okay. And I see that from here, I can send a little thing, engage with your audience, start a Q&A. Awesome. You know what, Penny? I don't want to spend our precious time here doing that, but I am going to write this down. When good stuff comes to you, don't rely on the already filled filing cabinets up here. Write stuff down. Pin comment to top of live. Thank you. Now, I'm not going to start a Q&A or a poll, but I just figured out I could do that. Q&A and a poll. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. I appreciate that. And notice I'll out myself completely here. I will out myself. I am doing these YouTube lives at the level that's comfortable for me. And I don't mean that like I mean that in a way that it's like I found out, it's kind of like using your phone. You found enough things to do to get it working, but have I actually researched the other features that may benefit me? The answer is no. So thank you very much, Penny, for doing that. Because we all choose to keep on growing, or we stop. Oh, this is good enough. I'm getting stuff done. So I have learned enough skills on YouTube to sign on and check in with people and do certain things. But have I gone the next step? No. Should I? Maybe. Can't hurt, might help. Got to take my own advice. So I say that to you. Where have you stopped doing something that even just learning a few more things, spending a little bit of time to learn something, it might expand your nervous system. It might expand your knowledge. Because if you're not expanding, you're either stuck or contracting. Just ask your muscles. They will tell you. If you're not stretching, you're shrinking. And my mother used to be 5'8". Now I feel like I tower over her and I'm 5'3". So our life is a muscle, maybe. So with that said, where are you stuck declutter-wise? Now, I know there's a lot of mundane things. I think even if you just reframe, there we go. I love it. Penny says, keeping in the tea path. I've let your tips steep within my brain, and so much good has come. Yeah, like a tea bag. Okay, let's riff on this one. Like a tea bag, you have a hot thing of water. If you just dunk it in, and you're like, yep, okay, that's good. Then you get a little bit of it. Sometimes the tea, the more you steep it, the more good it is, but you got to check it. Sometimes when you do something too long, it gets bitter, and I don't want to be bitter. But notice what I do, Penny. Look what I do. You guys, I show up every day. I show up on a regular basis. I repeat what I do. I repeat to you some of the mantras that have helped me. Every little bit helps. Chunk it down, calming down. What else? Listen to your co-pilot. Me, I'm your co-pilot, not your backseat drivers. And here's the funny thing. Your backseat drivers are often somebody else entirely. It's not even your voice. Your voice is your soul, is your good person in you who just wants to stop being yelled at. So it starts doing what other people says, you know? So I repeat things because we need to, if you don't learn from your history, you're bound to repeat it. So I show up and I repeat, and especially in this time of, I want to be a helper. But I know that, what's that phrase? When the student is ready, the teacher appears. Sometimes the teacher appears before the student is ready, but I'm patient because this is not about me. This is about you. This is about you. Even showing up for yourself, the fact that you showed up to listen to me talk about these things. Now, I love this because Penny Myers, I actually got kind of made fun of for using the verb offer. But I do feel like I offer it, like we had friends over last night. And if my tray over there was not filled with tax paperwork, it would be like, here, I have something to offer you. I'm not forcing it on you. I'm not yelling at you to beat stuff up. I just want to offer like a tray, and I'm a really good hostess. Here's some things that I think are tasty. Would you like one? If you do, great. If you don't, I won't take offense because you know you better than I do. But just know that I will show up every day with my platter of helpful goodies. And it is completely up to you whether you decide to take one or not. Now, you may be afraid of it. You may be like, oh, I don't know, that might be gross. And so you may be like, no. But then you're like, well, I see other people. Well, let me just a little bite. Nom, 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 nom. And I can always say no. I can always say, no, that's not for me. I've done things in my life where I'm like, oh, I'll never do that again. But I tried it. But yeah, this is a dance between you and me. This is, but I show up and I'm not going to back lead you and I'm not going to force you, we'll do like, interpretive, we'll do the cool jerk next to each other or something, Yeah. And offerings are so much better than shoulds. Yeah. And I try to catch myself because here's what I often say. If I'm not paying attention, if I am not truly being mindful of my words, I will catch myself using phrases that I really need to kind of reel back. One of them saying, you know what you got to do? You know what you got to do? And then I'll say, you know what? You don't got to do a damn thing. I am not the one to tell you what you got to do. You have enough of that in your own life, in your own head, external backseat drivers. I offer to you that there is a different way of doing things, of thinking about things and feeling about things, that could change how you do things and how you feel about things. And I know this because I am living proof of the change. And I love it. And I love it so much that I want to share it with the world. But it has nothing to do with me except, hey, this feels good. This is a tasty thing on the tray. You might like this too. And I wish I found somebody earlier on in my life that had these ideas and presented them in a way that felt accessible to me, not cheesy, not sleazy, not selling something. I mean, I do sell my coaching, but I do. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't make money and then I'd have to go get another job and then I couldn't do this anymore. However, I was so resistant to self-help. It was comical because boy, did I need it. I was so resistant to change because I was brought up that way. So I get it. So I am patient, and I am here for you when I am. So be patient with yourself, because really change happens when your nervous system feels safe enough to do something else. And for whatever reason, all of us are here today. Like if we were a map, right? Do I have a map down here? I got a map. Of course I have a map. I'm like a road tripper. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here's a map. Okay. Here's a map. Where are we going to be? Let's pick a good place. Well, I'm always going to pick. Oh no. We're going to pick Palm Springs. We are all here today. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today. But look at how many different routes it would take to get to someplace. So you took your route from birth to here. You have done and learned and experienced many things. Each one of our routes is different to being here today. But so take that into account. I grew up different than you. You grew up different from me. And a bunch of us struggle with clutter. So there are similarities. There are some differences, but there are many similarities. And the more we remind ourselves of what we have in common than what makes us different, the more we can do something different. I know that my clutter habits of collecting and holding on to came from my parents. How did they get it? From their parents. Now, the generation before then are kind of a mystery to me, but my people came over on the potato boats from Ireland and Wales, and I don't know, we've got some Swedish in there too, but I digress. To make things better. Now, there have been times where holding on to things can be really important. In times of uncertainty, if you're not certain that food is going to be there tomorrow, you're going to grab onto it. We've all lived through this during COVID, you know? And so, okay. So LO is saying, so I'm going to just kind of divert from what I was saying because I can pivot because this is my show and I can do whatever. It's my party and I'll pivot if I want to. So LO is saying the bubbling up of nerves. Oh, we even noticed that. Who's that? Ann Miller or something like that? The one who used to dance with um uh Andy Rooney? No, Mickey Rooney. And not Judy Garland, chasing the blues away. You can Google it. Notice her hands. That was her thing. But the bubbling up of nerves. Oh, yeah, notice right here. To me, your nervous system, your soul, this is the feeling part of your body. I was thinking about this today in yoga when I shouldn't have been thinking, but just getting yourself out of your head and into your body can be a nice vacation from doing all the thinking up here. Now, here's an interesting thing. LO, so the bubbling up of nerves. So let me calm that down just a little bit. Let's just kind of shake out some of those bubbles like it's a glass of ginger ale at your grandmother's house and you're spinning it around so it's not so bubbling. Okay? When I think about the road there, okay, so feeling a feeling can be uncomfortable. Here's the thing that has helped me. Maybe I'm not nervous, maybe I'm excited. What's the difference in you between the feeling in your body of nervous and excited? Because to me, it is a bit of, and I use this like this kind of effervescent, kind of sparkly, kind of glimmery, like, ooh, that could be good. It could be scary, but ooh, it could be good. Notice, scary makes you pull back. Excited makes you kind of lean forward. So getting used to feeling feelings, but also knowing you have a choice to be informed by that feeling or change it. And I just encourage you that the road to get there isn't something to be afraid of. I am not going to take you on a road trip on rumbly, rocky roads that you're careening around the Snake River Canyon Pass type thing. I'm saying that you are worth starting the journey. If you don't like where you are, let's pick a place that you think is going to be better and let's start driving towards it. And we're not going to take the crappy roads. We're going to take the ones that are easy and paved. And yes, there will be some detours. And yes, there will be some rumbly, rocky places. But because you have your eyes on the prize of where you're going, you make it through because you do this all the time on a daily basis. You drive in shitty conditions to get someplace you don't even want to go to. So why wouldn't you drive in some temporarily shitty conditions to get yourself someplace you're excited to go to? You know? Okay. So Clara is offering, and thank you for people who are putting stuff in the comments. It gives me something to play with. I feel like we just saw a thing about Lenny Bruce, but I'm feeding off of what you need. So Clara is saying surface clutter feels never ending, having trouble chunking tasks down. Okay. If you think of it as never ending, you're kind of right. You are. There are some things that if you clutter up a area, and you want it to be clean, you do need to clean it off. So this is what I kind of started to say this earlier, and it's coming back again. So I just want to offer, how about even reframing how you think and feel about it feels never ending? And instead of somehow trying to make it yippee skippy to be like, oh no, it's actually wonderful. And no, how about instead of going to this sucks to neutral, neutral. Yeah, yeah. We wiped down the counters, and then we had people over, and then there were cake crumbs, and then there's a circle from where somebody put their glass on it, and then we cleared the stuff away. And if we want the benefit, if we want the good feeling of looking at a clean surface, we can do something about it. Now, so surface clutter is usually the clutter of everyday life. It is countertops, it is floors, it is dishes, it is laundry, it is grocery shopping, it is the clutter of living. You ever remember those, like, isn't it ironic, like those back in the day, and maybe people, like, they would have the living room that they never lived in, that the stuff was covered in those plastic, like, what do you call them? Like, whatever, like the plastic covers. If you're living in your house, you will make it messy. Your level of messy, though, depends on you. And the only difference between a wicked messy house and a not so messy house is the frequency with which you go and tidy up after yourself. And it's totally up to you when you do that. And it doesn't have to be the same all the time. We had people over last night, and I was wicked tired by the time they left, and I knew I had a 6 a.m. client. So I said to my husband, I said, I'm going to bed. I'm going to deal with this stuff tomorrow. And luckily he stayed up and he did a lot of it, but not all of it. And I was okay with that. Also, when I wasn't feeling good, I may have let things pile up, but then we had people coming over. So instead of thinking as something is never ending, how about acknowledging that, yeah, you're right. Because if I'm not there making crumbs, it means I'm not eating. If I don't have dirt on the floor, it means I haven't gone outside. If I don't have laundry to do, it means I haven't changed my clothes in a while. If I don't have dishes to do, it means I haven't eaten. So reframing something that you do. I used to work in a frame store. You've got something that says it's never ending. Instead of looking at it that way, you're right. Oh my God, this is never ending. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is never ending, and it will never end. So if it is never going to end, what can you do to change how you think and feel about it so you're not dreading something that is going to be happening for the rest of your life? And what I offer to you is the skill that I have practiced and learned late in life, but sooner rather than later, of thinking about it differently. When I think about it differently, I feel differently about it. And again, I am not going to convince you, like any kind of trad wife or Stepford whatever, that it's going to be, oh, this is so great and I'm so fulfilled. No. What I'm going to say is just feel neutral about it and get that shit done so that you get to, like, bask in the delight of walking from room to room and feeling good about it. Okay? So, and having trouble chunking things down. chunking things down, then chunk it down further. Doesn't matter. The smallest chunk, the best way you can chunk things down is to chunk things down so small that you say, I can do that, and you do that one little chunk. You know, have you ever tried to prep for a colonoscopy? I know this is gross, but it's only a handful of us here. Have you ever had to drink, what is it, Miralax or to just mix in the stuff and all? But you know that that is going to help you in case I'd rather go through the temporary discomfort of one sip at a time, than die of colon cancer. So, one sip at a time, one fork into the dishwasher, one dish from the dishwasher into the cupboard. Chunk it down and keep on doing those little chunks, and they do add up. They do add up into something ideally you want. And if what you're doing isn't adding up to what you want, then let's talk about your destination. Hey, Rochelle, nice to see you. That's what I got to offer. It is helping me not lose my shit. It is helping me get up every day. And I'm not saying this is a one and done. Nothing is a one and done. You got to stretch your muscles every day. You got to go to the bathroom every day. You got to feed your body every day. I have to feed my brain every day with good words so I feel better and do better. And as Christine says, 1% better is still better. And I am team better. We are not going for perfection. We are not going for done. Because when things are done, they're over. The only time for me anything is done is when I'm dead. And then if I've played my cards right, my legacy will live on in helping people make their lives better. And then it's a positive ripple effect, like the Fabergé organic shampoo commercial. I was talking about this with a client today, and I think about it. What kind of role model are you being for the people around you? Are you being a good role model for yourself? Are you treating yourself with loving kindness, as they say in yoga? Are you being nice to yourself? And if not, cut that shit out. Do not be mean to yourself. It does not work the way you want it to. It just makes you feel like crap. So stop that and start being kind to yourself. Every day is going to be a little bit different. It's like every day that you go out to your car, you have a different amount of gas in your tank. You do not need to be at 100% full in order to drive forward. You can drive forward on a quarter tank of gas, but you got to keep your eye on the gas tank. So I heartily encourage you to start here. Start where it counts. Be kind to your web-footed friends, because that duck may be somebody's mother. Okay? Now, I am a mama duck right now. It's funny. I was thinking about this, that Make Way for Ducklings is like a Boston-based kids book. And I also have a pin that my dad gave me that has the ducklings on it. And I think about that because I feel like, honestly, my role right now, where I am in my life, I am lucky enough and blessed enough that I have privilege of showing up and doing what I do to reach out to help you. And I would not want it any other way. I'd be bored. I want to help people because I wished I'd gotten help at some point in my life. And I finally did. I finally started to listen to a self-help person. And then some people worked and some people didn't. Some people yelled and some people just seemed sleazy. And I said, when it started to work for me, what made a difference was that I found somebody that I felt like was on my wavelength. And what they were saying and the way they were saying it just clicked, made sense to me. Now, it was a lot of repetition. It was, but that's why I use simple words. That's why I use things we already talk about, gas tanks versus your amygdala is overreacting and you're creating cortisol. I mean, that may make you sound fancy. And if you like science, go for it, because there is sciencey stuff to back up what I talk about, you know? But sciencey stuff, I don't care if you think I'm smart or not. I have fun with what I do and how I do it. And I think fun and laughter and joy is a rebellion. And remember when you were in school, you had the teachers that were boring and you had the teachers that knew their stuff enough that they could play around with it and still have you learning something that you got engaged with it. There was a connection there. So I show up to just help you with what I do, with what you're struggling with, clutter-wise. And this clutter is also just life. Is how am I talking to myself about this? And make no, but I'm not to get dark, but I will. We are all gonna die, and we don't know when. So if you just got a if you got a text right now and it said you're gonna die in an hour, how would you feel about looking back at your life? Now, there was a certain point in my life I would have been like, "Motherfucker, no," because I hadn't started living. Do I want to not die in an hour? Yeah. But I started a journey and I am on it. And we're all on the journey until we die. But if I died today, I'd feel pretty damn good about what I'm doing. I would also know where my important papers are. I would know where my will is, where all my good stuff is, because I'm decluttered. I wouldn't feel afraid of somebody coming in to my house after I'm dead and having to find all my stuff while they're, grieving my absence. I say that to you as a loving kick in the pants because none of us know when we're going. I don't even know if I want to know, but I'm making damn sure that if it's sooner rather than later, that I'm doing the stuff, I am living the life I want. I'm not postponing it, you know? Yeah. Even Lori is saying, lost love letters, I better be dead before they read them. And even, do I even want them reading them? I save a lot of this stuff. I realized I have saved in the past a lot of evidence of what I call evidence of a life well lived. Here's the evidence that I paid my bills and had a good credit score. Here's evidence of where I had friends. Here's evidence of when I won an award. Here's evidence of me being a good person. I don't need to prove that to anybody but myself. But that's a lot of what it is, you know? Yeah. And if you want to allow people to read your love letters, um, then hang on to them. They're going to probably go through your stuff when you're dead. But if you don't want people to read your private stuff, I would highly recommend decluttering sooner rather than later. Now, I know I've gone kind of deep, but um, there's good stuff in the depth, you know? And I just think it's good to go there sometimes, is to really say, okay, is what I'm doing working for me? Is what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and how I feel when I'm doing it getting me the result that I want? If it is, don't change a thing. But if it isn't, I just show up to say, psst, there's a different way. It's worked for me and it's working for other people. So if you're stuck, you don't have to stay stuck. You can choose to stay stuck. And I'm not going to stuck shame you, right? But I love that I have found a better way of thinking and feeling. I love that it is working for me. I do not show up here to show off. I show up here to just say, hey, I figured shit out and I want to share that info with you because I don't even know you from Eve. Yet, if you're showing up, I want to help you with something. So just know that there's help out there. And the help out there helps you in here. That's saying to yourself, and I've got it written right here. It's so funny. I wrote it down Friday, January 27th of 2023. That was 2 years ago, over 2 years ago. I wrote myself this note and it just says, what do I want to happen? What do I want to happen? And that worked out so well that I even shortened it. What do I want? That is not a greedy thing. That is a self-aware thing. And so I just offer that to you. Here. You want it? Here it is. What do I want? I want delight, engagement, leisure. What do I want? All that matters is what's true for you. which is why getting really good at listening to your intuition and your heart and following your happiness is critical. I just offer that to you as like a little, I don't know, what do you call that thing? A little um, fortune cookie, right? Yeah. Becky is saying, I have over 200 love letters between my grandparents when they were dating with a big heart. Love them so much. So great genealogy info. Yeah. I I would like to think that if somebody went through all of my saved sentimental stuff, of which I do have quite a bit, mainly paper and boxes and things, but it's organized, that somebody would be like, damn, she had a good life. Damn, she had a good life. Wow, she went to this show, she met this person, she had this fun, she won this award, she did all these things, she had friends, you know? So I love that your grandparents have evidence of that. And the other thing you can think about evidence of being, your life can be evidence of a life well lived. Even if you don't leave one stitch of things, because you can inspire people, you can leave a legacy, you can live a life that people want to model. And I'm thinking of my nieces and nephews, you know, I could live on in them. I have two great aunts, Aga and Mimi. I am more Aga than Mimi, and I'm glad about that, you know. So just think about that. Now, I love it. Ms. Michelle got 2 boxes done, and Erin is saying, unsolicited recommendation. If anyone is new here and considering coaching, it is so worth it. Beth will help you get to the root of why you are stuck. Better than therapy, trust me. Why, thank you. Now, thank you. Now, I will say, Erin, I appreciate that. And I will say, and this is not showing off, this is just fact. I have heard from more than one client how our time together spent in our hour-long sessions has been more helpful to them than therapy. Now, here's the really interesting thing. I have never had any interest in being a therapist. No, no. I have people in my family that have degrees in psychology and are in therapy and all that. It never interested me. But I just enjoy what I do. And so thank you. Thank you. Ah, I love it. Lori says, Beth does a great job just listening her speak, like whistle while you work. Yeah, whistle while you work. You know what? Make the work something delightful. And, you know, and notice when you try to mechanize it. Here we go. I'm getting all Disney on our asses. You've got Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The Seven Dwarfs, they've all chunked down what they're doing. This guy does this guy does that. I don't even know the last time I saw Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but you get what I'm saying. Whistle while you work, chunking it down into 7 little chunks, little dwarfy chunks, right? Or when Mickey Mouse gets lazy and tries to get it all done, and was it Fantasia, and all like the brooms start taking over, and it's not good. So chunk it down. Be more like a dwarf than Mickey Mouse. I don't know. Like this may not make the final cut, but you get what I'm saying. Also, just kind of on a practical note, and I'm noticing that we've got we've still got like 7 minutes together. Erin was talking about people signing up for coaching. Now, the good news is most of you should be on the mailing list. If you're not, and this is where I kind of wish I had that, order now, it would be destinationdecluttered.com is the website, and you can sign up for the mailing list there. Now, the reason I say that is because currently I have not recently put on any consultation slots on my calendar to even sign up for coaching. That is a conscious decision because I've got a bunch of stuff going on that I need to be in a good place for me to even do some consultations to be available for people. And I'm honoring the fact that currently right now, and I'm looking at this calendar right now, doesn't feel like a good time for doing that. However, being on the mailing list, you guys are going to be the first ones to know when I open up that calendar. Okay, so do not worry about it. I will open up the calendar, but we're going away this weekend. And then I've got, I mentioned the parties we've got going on. So there's that. And then we go away for a while, and then we were going to go away, but then we're coming back. So do not worry, it will happen. But in the meantime, here we are on YouTube. And I hope this time is beneficial to you. I do. I'm not going to just show up to talk. I'm not much of a talker outside of this. I've gotten to be a better talker because of all these social media lives that I've been doing, but I really only show up for you. So I hope this time is beneficial to you. This is why I schedule these YouTube lives. That's why I share the schedule. That's why I show up when I am scheduled. Except for that, like that one time when I totally forgot, which was kind of comical. But you know what? Boom, that means I'm a human. It's not like, have you ever signed on? This was one of the things that bugged me about even deciding to be a coach or not, is so much insincerity in the way people do things. And I said if I was going to do it, um, I wanted to be sincere and live and real and no bullshit and just be me. Because I'll never forget signing up for somebody's like free webinar, and it was like fucking paid, like it was a recorded thing. Yeah. So anyhow, um, there we go. Kelly Smith says, after your live yesterday, I ordered a fire and waterproof box to protect my important papers. I do have most in a designated spot, but they're not protected. Okay, I love that you took that step. You know, I love that you took that step. And thank you, Rochelle, for saying I'm a fabulous coach. You know what? I'm just a person who maybe back in the day would have loved to have been listened to have had a comfortable environment where my nervous system felt safe in sharing things with somebody without fear of judgment, without fear of somebody sharing my secrets, without fear of mockery. I mean, God, I grew up in Boston Irish Catholic. You tell somebody your feelings, you're going to be made fun of like nobody's business. That's why the first half of my life, or the first whatever, was not so great. But when I started listening to myself and I started saying, I don't like it the way it is, I want to change it, then I did it. And it was incremental, baby steps. But I'm here right now to just encourage you to start those baby steps, because I don't want anybody dying with regrets. I want you to have memories. And even if you never got there, even having the memory of starting something good, that would comfort me on my deathbed. That would comfort me. And again, I'm Irish Catholic, so I'm always thinking about the deathbed. And Leslie says, Leslie with an S. Yes, Leslie says your sincerity shines through. Thank you. Thank you. It's funny, actually, because that is really important to me. That's why if you guys, when I was finding my way on doing social media lives on TikTok, things like that, a couple years ago at this point, a couple of 3 years ago, as it were, I wasn't comfortable with it. So I put on a mask. I was trying to be all professional and try to do this. And so I see some of these videos because I downloaded all my videos from YouTube, or excuse me, from TikTok, the little ones, and I'm slowly putting them up. I'm rebuilding and organizing. It's kind of like I got everything out of that one house and then I brought it over. And as I populate my YouTube channel, I am organizing those things. But I realized that I don't wear makeup every day. So this is me. This is you. This is us hanging out, having a cup of tea or a coffee, whatever you choose, and just checking in with each other. How you doing? You doing okay? If you are, yay. Awesome. Let's celebrate. But if not, who couldn't use a friendly ear, but also somebody that you invite into your life that you say to them, "Hey, can you help me with this?" The advice is not unsolicited. You know what you should do? Fuck that. But when you're here and you're hanging out and I talk about clutter, I just offer it to everybody. And I hope it helps you, you know? And so I don't know. Now I'm kind of on the tree and falling off and looking and saying, we've got like an hour, we've got like a minute left. Christine, thank you for this time. I hope this helped. I get into something different every day. You never know what it's going to be like. This is what live is so great about. It's not scripted. But it's sincere and it really is dependent upon what you need. So think about this. Tomorrow I have a TikTok live, see, zip it and reverse it. I have a YouTube live scheduled. I'm looking what time it is because again, I don't remember it up here. Ooh, I will clue with it. I will tell you this one. It's going to be one of those ones that is in the evening, because a number of people said they really appreciated them. So once a week, I have scheduled some that's in the evening. So 8 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So I offer this to you. Notice between now and then how your decluttering went, and not just in the house, but in your brain and in your schedule. How are things going for you in those areas? How you feeling and thinking, and your schedule and your things, and notice what's bugging you. Notice what isn't working. And between now and tomorrow's YouTube live, write it down. Okay? Write it down, and then tomorrow night at 8 p.m., I can help you with it. Sounds like a plan. I'm happy to do it. But I can't help you with something until you let me know what it is. And you can't even let me know what it is until you stop and listen to yourself about what is the rock in your shoe? What is stopping you? Okay. There we go. Awesome. Okay. So Christine is saying put a big note near your screen that says YouTube Live so you can remember it. I have the evening ones on my calendar. Yes, that's for my West Coasties. What did I say? My and late night people. Oh my God, talk about an old person. 8 o'clock at night, and I'm like, oh, I'm up late, right? Um, I hope this was helpful to you. It's always helpful for me to show up and do what I do. And I hope you have a good day. I'm trying to find my mouse here, and I will see you next time on the Muppet Show. Okay. Good night, everybody.